But Nomin, her mother-in-law, said to her, Daughter, shall I not seek rest for you, so that it may be well with you? Now is not Boaz our acquaintance, whose girls you were with? Look, he is winnowing the threshing floor of the barley this very night. Now bathe and apply oil, and put your clothing on yourself, and go up onto the threshing floor. Do not make yourself known to the man until he has finished drinking and eating. And it shall be, when he lies down, that you shall observe the place there where he is lying, and you shall go and uncover the place at his feet and lie down, and he will tell you what you shall do. Then Ruth said to her, Everything that you say I will do. And she went down to the threshing floor, and did according to everything that her mother-in-law had commanded her. And Boaz ate, and his heart was content, and he went to lie down on part of the heap of grain. Then she came stealthily and uncovered the place at his feet. Now it was at midnight, and the man was startled and troubled, and there lying at his feet was a woman. So he said, Who are you? Then she answered, I am Ruth, your slave. Spread your wing over your bondwoman, for you are a next of kin. Boaz said, May you be blessed by the Lord God, daughter, for your last instance of compassion is better than the first, that you have not gone after young men, whether poor or rich. And now, daughter, do not be afraid. Everything that you say I will do for you, for the whole clan of my people knows that you are a strong woman, and that I am truly a near kinsman. Yet there is even a nearer kinsman than I. Spend the night, and it shall be in the morning. If he will act as next of kin for you, good, let him do it. But if he is not willing to act as next of kin for you, the Lord lives, I myself will act as next of kin for you. Lie down until morning. And she lay at his feet until morning, but got up before a man could recognize his neighbor. And Boaz said, It must not be known that a woman came to the threshing floor. And he said to her, Bring the apron that you have on. And she held it, and he measured out 6 measures of barley, and put it upon her. And he went into the city. And Ruth came in to her mother-in-law, and she said, Who are you, daughter? And she told her all that the man had done for her. And she said to her, He gave me these 6 measures of barley, for he said to me, Do not go in empty-handed to your mother-in-law. Then she replied, Sit, daughter, until you observe how not a word will fail, for certainly the man will not rest, until he settles the matter today. And Boaz went up to the gate and sat down there, and right there, passing by, was the next of kin, of whom Boaz had spoken. And Boaz said to him, Come over, sit down here, hidden one. And he went over and sat down. And Boaz took 10 men of the elders of the city and said, Sit down here. And they sat down. And Boaz said to the next of kin, Concerning the portion of the field that belongs to our brother Abimelech, which has been given to Nomin, who returned from the countryside of Moab, I said, I will uncover your ear, saying, Buy it in the presence of those sitting here, and in the presence of the elders of my people. If you are acting as next of kin, act as next of kin. But if you are not acting as next of kin, tell me, and I shall know, for there is no one except you to act as next of kin, and I come after you. So he said, I am the one, I will act as next of kin. And Boaz said, The day you acquire the field from the hand of Nomin, and from Ruth the Moabite, the wife of the deceased, it is necessary for you to acquire her also, in order to raise up the name of the deceased on his inheritance. And the next of kin said, I will not be able to perform the kinsman's function for myself without ruining my inheritance. Take for yourself my right of inheritance, for I will not be able to act as next of kin. And this was the statute in former times in Israel, concerning the right of inheritance and concerning exchange. To confirm every agreement, a man would take off his sandal and give it to his neighbor, who was acquiring the right of inheritance. This was an attestation in Israel. And the next of kin said to Boaz, Acquire for yourself my right of inheritance. And he took off his sandal and gave it to him. And Boaz said to the elders and all the people, Today you are witnesses that I have acquired everything of Abimelech's, and all that belongs to Chalion and Milon from the hand of Nomin. I have also acquired Ruth the Moabite, the wife of Mahlon, for myself as a wife, to raise up the name of the deceased on his inheritance. and the name of the deceased shall not be extirpated from his brothers and from the clan of his people. Today you are witnesses. And all the people who were at the gate said, We are witnesses. And the elders said, May the Lord God make your wife who is coming into your house, like Rachel and like Leah, who built up, both of them, the house of Israel, and produced might in Ephrathah. And there shall be a name in Bethlehem. And through the offspring that the Lord will give you from this maidservant, may your house be like the house of Pharez, whom Tamar bore to Judah. And Boaz took Ruth, and she became a wife to him. And he went into her, and the Lord granted her conception, and she bore a son. And the women said to Nomin, Blessed be the Lord, who did not bring your next of kin to an end this day. And may he call your name in Israel. He shall be to you a restorer of life, and shall sustain your gray head. For your daughter-in-law who loves you, who is better to you than 7 sons, has borne him. And Nomin took the child and laid him in her bosom, and became a nanny to him. The women of the neighborhood gave him a name, saying, A son has been born to Nomin. They named him Obed. This was the father of Jesse, the father of David. And these are the generations of Pharez. Pharez became the father of Hezron. Then Hezron became the father of Aran, and Aran the father of Amminadab. Amminadab became the father of Nahshon. Nahshon became the father of Salmon. Salmon became the father of Boaz. Boaz became the father of Obed. Obed became the father of Jesse, and Jesse became the father of David. There was a man of Harmathaim, Siphah, from the hill country of Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, son of Jerahmeel, son of Elihu, son of Thoka, in Nasib Ephraim. And he had 2 wives. The name of the one was Hannah, and the name of the second Phinehah. And Phinehah had children, and Hannah had no child. And the man used to go up from days to days from his town, from Harmathaim, to do obeisance and to sacrifice to the Lord God Sabaoth at Selo. And there Eli and his 2 sons, Hophni and Phinehas, were priests of the Lord. And it happened on a day that Elkanah sacrificed, and gave portions to his wife Phinehah, and to her sons, and to Hannah he gave 1 portion, because she did not have a child. However, Elkanah loved Hannah more than this one, and the Lord had closed the area of her womb, since the Lord did not give her a child according to her affliction, and according to the despondency of her affliction. She was also becoming despondent because of this, that the Lord had closed the area of her womb, so as not to give her a child. Thus she used to do year by year, when she would go up to the house of the Lord, and she would be despondent, and would weep and not eat. And her husband Elkanah said to her, Hannah, and she said to him, Here I am, sir. And he said to her, How is it that you are weeping? And why do you not eat? And why does your heart smite you? Am I not good to you beyond 10 children? And after they had eaten at Selo, Hannah rose and stood before the Lord, and Eli the priest was sitting on the seat, beside the doorposts of the shrine of the Lord. And she was deeply distressed in soul, and prayed to the Lord. And weeping she wept, and vowed a vow to the Lord, saying, Adonai, Lord, Eloi, Sabaoth, if looking you will look on the humiliation of your slave, and remember me, and give to your slave an offspring of men, and I will give him as one devoted before you until the day of his death. And wine and strong drink he shall not drink, and no iron shall come upon his head. And it happened, as she continued praying before the Lord, that Eli the priest observed her mouth, and she was speaking in her heart, and her lips kept moving, and her voice was not heard. And Eli reckoned her as drunk. And the servant of Eli said to her, How long will you be drunk? Put away your wine, and go out from the presence of the Lord. And Hannah answered and said, No, sir, I am a woman for whom this is a hard day. I have not drunk wine and strong drink, and I am pouring out my soul before the Lord. Do not regard your slave as a pestilent daughter, because I have been greatly extending my mumblings until now. And Eli answered and said to her, Go in peace. May the God of Israel grant you your every request, which you have requested of him. And she said, Your slave has found favor in your sight. And the woman went on her way, and entered her quarters, and ate and drank with her husband, and her countenance was sad no longer. And they rose early in the morning, and did obeisance to the Lord, and went their way. And Elkanah entered into his house at Harmathaim, and he knew his wife Hannah. And the Lord remembered her, and she conceived. And it happened at the season of days that she bore a son, and she called his name Samuel. And she said, Because I have requested him of the Lord God Sabaoth. And the man Elkanah and all his household went up to offer in Siloam the sacrifice of the days, and his vows, and all the tithes of his land. And Hannah did not go up with him, for she said to her husband, Until the boy goes up, if I shall wean it, and it will appear to the face of the Lord, and stay there forever. And her husband Elkanah said to her, Do what is good in your sight. Stay until you have weaned him. Only may the Lord establish that which goes out of your mouth. And the woman remained and nursed her son, until she weaned him. And she went up with him to Siloam, with a 3-year-old bull calf, and bread, and an opheh of flour, and a nabal of wine. And she entered into the house of the Lord at Siloam. And the boy was with them. And they brought him before the Lord, and his father slaughtered the sacrifice that he used to do from days to days to the Lord. And he brought the boy near, and slaughtered the bull calf. And Hannah, the mother of the child, brought it to Eli, and said, By me, sir, your soul lives. I am the woman who stood before you, when praying to the Lord. For this boy I prayed, and the Lord has granted me my request that I requested of him. And I lend him to the Lord as long as he lives, alone to the Lord.